Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bench Bros podcast, where two brain cells try to communicate via Bluetooth. I am one of those brain cells, Cheesebees, along with Forever and Always.
I make up the other 0.8 of that brain cell. E.
Yeah. It's supposed to be two brain cells. How are you 0.8? We're missing 0.2 of a brain cell somewhere. Is it lost in
I thought
Bluetooth?
you said one brain cell.
You know what? I might have. I don't.
I was trying to be the majority brain cell, but if you said two, I'm the minority in this one.
Yeah, take that, white people. And our first edit of the podcast. So,
Speak,
go
Speaking
ahead.
of white people,
Oh, juicy.
um, the Mario movie, he's white, played by a white guy, Chris
Aren't
Pratt.
Italians considered white?
Yeah, the Mediterranean,
Okay.
depending on where in Italy. The more
I've
fierce, like pan. But yeah,
Well, here, you know what? Let's give it to Chris Pratt. I think Chris Pratt might actually be like, what is Chris Pratt? You know, his middle name is Michael.
that's the whitest name ever.
Yeah. Also, he's been married twice. He was married to, I don't know, somebody. He's got like 7 kids. No,
Yeah, he.
3. They just have really long names.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, apparently he was
they have
married
enough.
to a
They have enough.
Schwarzenegger.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's now married to Catherine Schwarzenegger, but he was married to Anna Faris for 10
Yeah.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you know he's Garfield?
Yeah, he's gonna
And
be playing Garfield in the new movie.
yeah, no, it's for me. It's always gonna be Bill
Bill
Murray.
Murray. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're getting back to the Mario movie. We both seen it, so we could talk about it.
it's true.
What'd you think about it?
Honestly, I liked it. I thought it was a cute little like stupid movie. Like just a little like how do you say? Um, like your grandpa takes your grandson when they're like 5 or 6, or like your
Mm-hmm.
grandmother takes your granddaughter type
It's a
shit.
family movie.
Right. That's something you do when like your parents are having problems at home. So the grandparents are like, look, let me take the kids off your hands for a couple hours so you guys can just like fuck this one out. Cause that's what me and your grandma did. Or that's like what me and your mom did. And then they'd be like, Dad, why would you say that? And be like, look, you have 14 brothers and sisters. You don't think I was raw dogging your mom?
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a family movie.
So it's kind of lopsided. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 57% from like actual critics, but 96% from the audience, and I gotta agree there that I wouldn't give it like a 96. I'd give it
No.
like a solid like 7, 6.5, 7 out of 10.
I would say like 7.5. There was a couple things that I like. Well, no, I'd probably a 7.
I
Like it
wish
was a decent enough movie.
the movie, in my opinion, could have been like another 10 to 15 minutes longer, and I think it would have done it really good,
Yes.
especially during that. My first big gripe about it, one, that travel scene right after Mario does the like running the course and when they're leaving to go to the place of the Kongs.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have had like at least like one like thing go wrong in their little trip there and have like a small little conflict and resolution there to
Right.
make it to
This
make it a little
beside, yeah.
make it a little bit more interesting.
Right. Instead, they just show up there.
Yeah. That's my biggest gripe with it. Other than that, once again, it's 90 minutes long, so it's perfect.
Yeah. You got to get it right there in that sweet spot.
Yeah, but I think it could have done with an extra 10 to 15 minutes. And maybe I would go 20 because at the oh yeah, spoilers by the way, if you haven't seen it. Kind of too late
Mario's
for
in
this.
it and Luigi dies.
Um when Mario and Donkey Kong are on their own after the whole kart racing thing
Yeah.
and they get sucked into the giant eel.
Yeah.
I feel like that scene could have been a little bit longer.
Yeah. I really thought that was going to be a really solid character building like
Yeah, but
arc.
nothing really happened there.
Yeah, they're just like, "Hey, my" yeah, and they were starting a dialogue, and I wasn't expecting, like, this cheesy, like, "You're dead too," but I love how
Hmm.
they turned it to, like, Donkey Kong's still an asshole,
Yeah,
but I think there could have been a little more back and forth there
but
to really get it.
once again, it's a kids movie, so I'm not gonna fault it too much for it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, a lot of probably older people like us went to go see it,
Yeah.
but again, and my other gripe is all the '80s music they decided to use in it, which was a little
Yeah.
weird for me. I mean, some of the songs are good.
Well, is it
I
supposed to,
mean,
like, take place in the '80s? Like
no, it's not.
right.
I mean,
It's
it
supposed
might
to be
be
well, they
because
still
all
had, like,
the
the arcade.
arcade system, but you can go to fucking CC's Pizza and they still have arcades in there. So
Yeah, but they don't have Jumpman, which they really were trying to push Jumpman. I don't know if you saw him make, like, 4 or 5 appearances
yeah, that was Charles Martinet's character.
from the original
That's
movie
the no, that's the
or the
voice of
live
Mario.
action.
That's the voice actor for Mario who does all the wahoos.
Oh, really?
Here we go. Yeah, that's Charles Martinet.
Yeah. Well, after the first, like, 3 minutes, I couldn't enjoy the film because it was
Um,
executive produced by Shigeru Miyamoto, and I'll never forgive him.
yeah, he did a lot of the art for it.
That's why it was all weird.
Well, it's his character.
It's true. I still don't know why me and him are fighting so much. I don't know why I'm fighting with him. It's just fun. Yeah, okay.
And
So it was released the mid '80s. So I guess they were like, "Oh, it's a mid '80s."
yeah,
That's
so
and then that was it.
I
That was
guess
yeah,
it makes sense, but you could have done more Mario pieces, like reimagined like Mario music scores, because there's a lot.
yeah, yeah. There really are, and they did do some,
They
but it
did do
was
some.
all the way in the background, and you would hear just
Hmm.
like
It
it
was
would be
more,
quiet for a second, 5 or 6 notes, and you'd be like, "Oh, it's that one," and then it would immediately fade out.
yeah, it's more reserved for like when they're showing off the animation, like how beautiful the movie is, because it is a very beautiful movie with
Yeah,
all the colors, and this is
yeah.
CGI was great overall.
Yes, it was some solid, like, that was the Coco Melon I was looking for.
It's a great, like, I'm just gonna enjoy this movie.
Yeah. I love how they tackled the small, like, short king, and that's how he gets tall with the mushroom, like,
Yeah, I mean
I thought that was a good
that's what
point.
happens.
Yeah. I thought that was good. But then you see him with everybody else, like, in human world, and he's literally, like, 3'9".
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "Okay." Like, I like that they did that, but it was way too much of a difference. If he was, like, 4 or 5 inches shorter, okay. But I think they should have either brought everyone down or brought him up just a bit,
Mm,
just to
I
make it
think it,
more like, "Oh, that
I
makes
think it was
sense."
fine. I really didn't have a problem with it.
Oh, yeah,
It
this is absolutely
served
just nitpicking.
it served its purpose.
Oh, yeah.
The power-ups, I wish they used more of them, because we only saw like what, maybe
Mushroom.
yeah, we only saw the mega mushroom, the
Did we see the
normal,
mega?
not the mega, I meant to say the normal
Yeah.
mushroom, the
Yeah,
tiny mushroom, the fire flower.
ice flower, the Tanuki
Oh, we
suit.
did see the ice flower and
Yeah.
Tanuki suit.
Oh, and the cat.
Cat. Okay, yeah, they used a decent amount. I
Yeah.
just wish they were used more for
Yeah,
being a
instead of it just
Mario
being
movie.
yeah, instead of just being like these
And
small
then the star at the end.
yeah,
So like seven in total, give
yeah,
or take one more somewhere
which
that
isn't
we
bad,
missed.
but that's like 45 minutes of the movie right there.
Yeah, and
And
they were only used for maybe like a total of like 2 minutes for the rest of them, and the star was like another 3 minutes.
yeah,
Other than that, it's still a good movie.
yeah. I really enjoyed Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I was kind of worried. Out of all the characters, I thought Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was a little iffy, but I'm glad they didn't use him all that much.
Yeah, like he was just
Like
enough to be
it
like,
was
I'm
just it was
yeah,
just enough to not get on your nerves, and it wasn't like Seth Rogen
exactly.
being Seth Rogen.
Exactly. They peppered him in as he needs to be. Because unless you're a Seth Rogen fan, you probably can't stand him.
Yeah.
Or you're like, I'd rather
What
not.
is it? I just watched Paul again today.
Did
before.
you?
Yeah, it was
The
on Tubi, and I was just looking for something to watch in the morning,
Oh, is that
and
the
I was
one
like,
with the guys
oh
that do Shaun of the Dead, I think?
yeah, well
Yeah.
yeah, it's not directed by Michael Cornetto, but it's written and I think written and directed by the two dudes in Shaun of the Dead. I know Simon
Okay.
Pegg, and I can't remember the other guy's
Simon
name.
Pegg and let's see. Nick Frost.
Yeah, Nick Frost. It was
Dude, I
written by
love
them.
those two guys.
And I forgot how many like good actors were in that movie. They
Yeah.
got like a really good set of actors.
Yeah. Like Martin Freeman was in Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, I'm not talking about Sean. I was talking about
Oh,
Paul.
that's right, Paul.
Uh,
Paul.
Jane Lynch. Uh,
Kristen
you had
Wiig, Jason
Kirsten
Bateman.
Wiig,
Jesus.
Jason Bateman. What's his name? He's another SNL guy.
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, and then the one of the other dudes from Brooklyn Nine-Nine's in it.
I couldn't tell you.
He's like
Let's
that
see.
goofy, like kind
Oh,
of
Joe Latruglio.
yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Then Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, and then as Paul, you had
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
But in that context, it kind of works out. He's supposed to be kind of like this annoying little
Yeah,
alien thing.
but he wasn't all too annoying.
He really wasn't. He
It
was.
was
I think they gave him a lot of like one-liners, little things like that to keep him fun.
yeah. But getting back to Mario movie, I think most of the voice cast was great. Otherwise, Jack Black really hit it home as Bowser. They let him sing
Yeah.
his heart out.
Yes. I think he had a lot of creative freedom to kind of
Yeah,
say what he wanted and kind of do what he wanted to do. Which for Jack Black, just let him riff. Don't like give him direction. Like this is the scene I'm trying to set.
yeah.
Now go, be free. It's like when you set your oldest child finally to college in like another state, and you're like, they're gonna get someone pregnant and be blackout drunk by the end of the week.
Uh,
But you gotta let it happen. It's a beautiful disaster.
Anna Taylor-Joy, fucking love her.
And it's
Ever
Taylor
since,
Joy.
uh,
Yeah,
have you ever seen The
Peach.
Witch? Yeah, she's Peach.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman.
Oh my gosh, she looks so familiar.
Yeah, she was in The Queen's Gambit. She was in The
Mm,
Witch.
nope.
She was in The
Nope.
Northman. That's another great
Nope.
movie. Split.
Nope.
Uh, The Menu.
Oh, she was in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look to see because I've seen her face and I've seen her so much, but I don't know why.
She's a beautiful woman. It's if I had a celebrity crush, it would be her.
Now you can tell. Oh, and it's Anya. I'll have you know, not Anna.
Anya,
Oh, it's
whatever.
on. Oh well, you can't love her unless you say her name right. She has 5 names, dude, and she's
Keep check
not
for that.
married. Yeah,
She has
Anya
three
hyphen
names.
Josephine Marie Taylor hyphen Joy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
She's like one of Chris Pratt's kids.
Well, in her defense, her mother's name is Jennifer Marina Josefine Joy Morancho. So she's like
Her
half
father is an
Mexican or Cuban or something.
Argentine. She's
Argentinian.
Argentine of English and Scottish descent, and the son of a British farmer and Anglo-Argentine mother.
What the fuck?
Her mother was born in Zambia. Jesus Christ. Fucking
That's she's a
worldwide travelers, parents over there.
fuck yeah, she's a mutt, but like the one you take to the dog show.
And she was born April 16th, 1996.
Dude, that's almost my birthday.
Yeah, well, her birthday's in 5 days.
We'll do a special podcast where you just talk about her the whole time.
Honestly, if you really want to see like her acting capabilities, watch The Witch or The Northman. Those are my two
The
favorite movies.
Witch.
Yeah, The Witch is it's a weird horror movie.
Okay. Is she? I guess she's like the main ending or
I
the
think
main
she's like
person.
the main. I think she's the protagonist for the movie. But in The Northman, she's a supporting actor. The
Oh,
Northman's a great movie. It's what Hamlet is based off of, actually.
so it's a
And
movie
that
about a
was
witch in like that
uh
time frame.
yeah, I believe in like early Protestant America, like
Oh, the
before
fucking
America was
Protestants.
America.
Yeah, a folk horror film. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna watch it. I'll be absolutely real with you, but I will look at pictures of her and not add swimsuit at the end of it.
Anyways, um,
Yeah, did you know that what Mario made like 330? No, I don't think
it
that's right.
made
Mario
it's like
box office.
149 million.
Yeah, I don't know where I got 300. 21.6 million globally and 16.6 million domestically.
Yeah, I was looking at yesterday's numbers.
It's the highest grossing video game movie of all time,
Oh, really?
apparently. Yeah, the
Well, yeah,
previous record holder was Sonic the
I mean,
Hedgehog.
Sonic was good, but it wasn't gonna match it to Mario.
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, I love the fucking self-deprecated depressed star.
Oh,
The
fuck yeah. I love that guy.
I want the sweet release of death. I was like,
Yeah.
me too, buddy, me too.
Oh, he was the voice of the millennials. Like it was the grandparents, the grandson, and they're like, I miss my dad. And then that there you go. There was your bit
Oh,
of
I'm sorry.
dad.
Charles Martinet was Mario's dad.
Oh, so who the fuck was the Jumpman guy?
I don't know. Maybe it was still Charles Martinet.
Jumpman Mario movie. Yeah, sure, why not?
John DiMaggio is in this movie. I didn't even know that.
Dude, the fucking the one who played oh my god, it's killing me. Mario in Mario. Wasn't that him?
I don't believe it was John DiMaggio.
Oh, who played Mario in the live action? I remember watching it.
Um,
It was so bad.
yeah,
And I
it's
was a
not
kid and
great.
I was like, wow, that was bad.
Oh, John
Let's see.
DiMaggio is like I think the voice of Optimus Prime.
What? Who
I
did
know
John
he's like a
DiMaggio play?
he was Uncle Arthur in
Oh,
Mario,
the fucking
but I know he's like another like big voice actor.
yeah, the guy, the funky dude that like the disco guy that still thought that it was still
Oh,
discoing.
he's Bender. That's why his name sounds so familiar. He's Bender.
Oh, that's right. John Leguizamo. No, that's
That's
absolutely not.
Luigi.
Yeah.
How are you having trouble finding this man's name?
I don't know why.
It's 1983, I
3.
think.
Yeah. Wait, so the Mario movie came out 93, 93. I was like
93.
83 does not sound right because Mario didn't come out till 85.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins. What else has he been in?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Hook.
Who was he in Roger Rabbit?
Who
Was
Framed
he
Roger
the
Rabbit? He was Eddie Valentine.
right?
Yeah.
Wow. And I was hearing stories or listening to stories of him, and he said that he was just the Mario movie was such shit that he
Oh,
would just show up drunk all the time.
everyone fucking hated working on Mario movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the second like half once they get into the underground where it gets to be like that cyberpunk-esque cuz the dude who worked
Hmm.
on who did the set for Blade Runner did the same set for Mario movie. The set
Huh.
designer. So when they went underground, it was like going back into like Blade Runner, that cyberpunk-esque uh world.
Sorry, what were you saying? I thought there was someone like scraping against my window. Turns out it was Bella snoring.
I was saying the set designer who did Blade Runner is the same set designer who did the Mario movie. So that's why, like, when you get to like the underground or the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever the fuck they called it, Dino World in the Mario movie, it looks like Blade Runner.
Okay. Dude, did you know that John Leguizamo was like he's 62?
Yeah, he's kind of old.
I didn't know that. I thought he was maybe like 30. No, like 35, 40. Damn, he's been in a lot of shit. Let's see.
Yeah,
What
there's
made
no
Leguizamo
specific
famous?
person named
Um,
Jumpman in the movie.
yeah, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the guy that was playing like the arcade machine in the pizza restaurant, and
Yeah,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and I could not figure out why like that was a such a thing. Like they were really trying to like hammer that home. Well, I
And
guess maybe
maybe,
if you understood it or if you saw it and you're like, "Oh, it's that." And you're like, "Okay, the one reference was fine and didn't need to go any farther than that."
overall, Mario movie, in my opinion, it's like 6.5, 7 out of 10.
I'd say so. I
I
felt
hope
very comforted.
Nintendo makes more movies.
What would they do next? Like Star Fox one?
I would like to see like maybe I don't like The Legend of Zelda, but I think it would make like a good like TV show
Yeah, because there's just so
or
much
like
to
animated
that.
TV show. I don't think an
Yeah,
animated movie is long enough, but if you make like an animated TV show,
yeah, you can get at least
like
what, maybe 2
24
seasons.
24 episodes, 30 minutes long, I think that's
Yeah,
good
oh,
enough.
yeah, that'd be pretty solid.
You could do it like in the format of like episode 1 is Adventure Start, episode 2 is get to I don't know if you're doing Ocarina of Time, which is probably the most well-known version of it. You
Yeah,
could do episode 1, get to like start at episode 2, get to Forest Temple. Episodes 2 and 3, or I'm sorry, episodes 3 and 4 could be Forest Temple. Episode 5 can be traveling. Episode 6 is arrival and like start of next temple. There's plenty of stuff in there. Like you could frame it out right.
oh yeah,
30 minutes is enough time for an episode.
yeah, be able to get something in or just have them. I mean, just going through it doesn't necessarily have to have
And it doesn't need to be like this epic
right.
thing made for adults or anything like that. I think Nintendo should stick to doing stuff more geared towards children because once I think you start making it for adults, you're gonna get a lot more pushback
Yeah,
and comments more than what the Mario movie got. But the Mario movie is different. Is a little bit Mario's. I would say more popular than Zelda is,
yeah,
just for sheer name factor. Not everybody's
yeah,
played a Legend of Zelda game, but everyone's played a
right,
Mario game at some point in their
right.
life.
Well, and on top of that, Mario was geared for children. It was
Geared
fine.
for
It wouldn't.
everybody.
Right, exactly. You could do for anybody could just pick up the game and do it. And at the time, there was only really they would buy it for children. It wasn't made for adults to be playing video games.
Well, Japan's a
Even
bit
though
different.
originally, yeah, Japan's
Japan's
a little different.
everyone plays video games
Right.
at the time and when it came out, like the 80s and
Yeah.
90s.
But
It's
now it's so mainstream that, adults don't, it's the kids.
I don't know.
So
I
go ahead.
think I think it's about even.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
You reckon?
I do.
Hmm. Well, what I'm trying to really get at is like Mario was something you could pick up and play, and
Yeah.
you had all of like there was no progression. There was nothing locked behind progression. You had
It was just
a
literally
life and
it's just difficulty. It got harder as the game went on, but that's how a game's supposed to go.
right, as opposed to Legend of Zelda, where it's like, okay, you're just running around for hours. You don't know what to do. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. You're like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I think that's really the biggest thing of why Mario overtook The Legend of Zelda, or at least why it's much more popular. Because it was something you could just pick up, play, and just fuck around in, as opposed to wandering around aimlessly and not really being as much fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Sonic probably did as well too. I mean, it's fast, it's fun, it's got a lot of bright colors.
Yeah, it was also more witty,
Yeah,
but Sonic's
chili
always
dogs.
been made for older people.
I would say like
It was more
teenagers
made
and
for
up.
teenagers.
Yeah, like that's when you found out that you were becoming a teenager. You would pick Sonic at the Olympic Games over Mario.
And then I don't know, the Detective Pikachu movie was also really good.
It was.
To
Like
make a
that
make a
too. I wish it was a
Pokemon
little
movie, that's
longer.
probably the only one you can go with without it being fucking devolving into fucking shit
Yeah.
because it has an actual story. Whereas
Yeah.
Pokemon, I mean, not to harp on Pokemon, I love it, but
Yeah,
the
you do.
Pokemon games don't really have a solid story until like Scarlet and Violet. Is there a story that's actually good? Speaking of animes, I'm gotten into watching Gundam again, and I want to actually start building like Gundam models. They look fucking cool.
Okay, so the Gundam thing. Do they make like Gundam kits, like models still?
Yeah, they're called Gunpla. It's like I forget the actual word for the name. It's basically a combination of Gundam plastic model.
Okay. And
So
then you
it,
can build them
the
or do they come?
no, you got to build them. There's like several different like variations of like difficulty and size. It's really complicated once you get learning into like the size because there's like chibi grade, high
Yeah.
grade, perfect grade, master grade, and it's
Yeah.
all about like details and like numbers of parts and that kind of thing. But even the
Right.
details don't. You can get high grades that look better than master grades and master grades that look better than this, that, and the third. Anyways,
Hmm.
I just like it because they're cool looking, and
Yeah,
Gundam's a
they
pretty
are.
cool show. Like
You
I
know
was
what?
going back and watching the 1990s. I think 1996 is when it came out in Japan, and then
Shining Finger, baby.
later on is well, I was watching Gundam Wing,
I don't know what the fuck the
which was the
difference
real
is.
popular one. Is what really the real popular one that got Gundam really popular in the United States. It was on Toonami.
I think that's the one I watched.
It's yeah, it's probably the one you watched with the Death Scythe and
Dead
uh,
Size sounds familiar.
it's that black Gundam that has the laser scythe.
I don't think you can say that.
What? It was
Nothing.
black.
No, nothing. Got him.
And all the kids were like from the colonies. Mm,
The
Uh,
colonies? What are you talking in the anime?
yeah, all the Gundams came from different colonies, like in outer
Yeah, I
space.
remember Shining Finger and Red Sword Guy, which I think were the same guy.
That's the RX-8. Shining Finger was in one of the original Gundams. A lot of them have the laser swords. A lot of different Gundam series, and once you start getting into timelines of Gundams, it gets even more complicated because
Because there's so many
there's
different.
well, yeah, there's so many different timelines, like alternate timelines, and then there's like some Gundam stories that take place in the one in certain timelines, and there's other ones that create their own timelines. It's crazy. One of my
Jeez,
favorite ones is Iron Blood Orphans, and that's a fucking sad show.
is it?
Yeah, it's like an allegory for like all the most of the time the Gundam pilots are children in the shows, but Iron Blood Orphans really hits home at like child soldiers. It really makes that point home. And so you're
Yeah, they
watching
all look
these
like maybe teens,
early
like
teens, young
mid,
children.
low teens, tweens
And so
even.
like one of the worst ones, I watched it again last night just because I was like that scene just sticks home with me is there's this guy named Astion, uh and the group that they're with is fighting a war on Earth, and they got tricked into fighting it. Anyways, they're fighting, and Ashton goes to save one of his friends, and he gets fucking this Gundam.
Demolished
His mobile suit gets fucking demolished right in the cockpit, and his homie's going in. He's trying to pull him out, and you just see this child's mangled
corpse.
corpse telling him how much he hated his friend for loving, how much he hates his friend for liking him
Like, why
because he
did you
did
do this?
like, why did I have to become friends with you? Because now I'm
Ah,
dying.
it was
You
all your
gave me.
fault.
It's like it's because
If
one
I
he was
hated you, I
what
wouldn't have
some
saved you.
well, it's one is that they're like human, what they called human debris, which means like they were essentially like slaves. And
Uh-huh.
then this
Debris,
group came
yes.
in, freed them, and they gave them like their life back, and they were like making a name for themselves or treated as equals. And then that good life gets taken away,
via this tricked war.
Yeah,
Uh,
a war they're not supposed to be fighting in. There's no Gundam's a really complicated, a really cool show, and that there's really no good people.
well,
There's
everybody thinks their side is right in
they're
the war.
they're framed as your main characters are framed as what they're doing is right, but especially
Yeah.
in Gundam Wing, you're easily viewed as a terrorist.
What is it? Just like blowing shit up?
Well, yeah, because you get these five like super suits that come down to Earth, and they're attacking these military bases, and they're just demolishing everything.
Why?
So in the eyes of people of Earth, you're like a terrorist. Well, why? Because
Right.
they don't want to be like under this military dictatorship.
Oh, so they're like fascist fighting,
Yeah,
freedom fascist fighting.
in the end of it, the colonies aren't any better because you make these basically these machines of war that can't be stopped. And then there's people
I.e.,
again
Gundam.
that yeah, and then there's people inside the army that take over the military dictatorship to make a new military dictatorship. It's wacky.
So they're fighting for. Okay, I'm looking at it here. Five powerful weapons known as Gundams are sent to Earth to destroy OZ, which I'm guessing is
Oz.
original zone Oz, and free the space colonies. So
Yeah.
it's like they're
So
fighting for freedom, but
yeah, there was an
it's not like
original.
anything's great.
I can't remember the name of the name of the original like military on Earth or what they were called. Essentially, the Gundams were fighting the military, and then more specifically Oz, because Oz made the mobile suits on Earth, and so they're attacking like their military bases and factories. And so Oz, the leader of Oz, gets an idea of where he was going to take over the entire operation on Earth, and they call like this big summit, and he puts all the Gundams attack this big summit, and he puts them on an Oz plane, and so the Gundams attack the Oz plane and take down like all the leaders that were actually advocating for like peace with the colonies. And so the people who were probably going to end up helping the colonies, the Gundam pilots end up killing them,
Hmm.
and so that allows the Oz to take over. They stage a coup and just rule.
And
They
essentially fight back against the
they they
Gundam.
rolled they rolled like the Earth military, and then they start to fight the Gundams in space, and that's as far as I got in the Gundam Wing so far.
Which when was the Snake Gundam a thing?
The
Or
Snake
the
Gundam
Cobra?
Cobra.
Yeah, the one where he has to like dislocate his shoulder to like get
I've
out. You know what I'm talking about?
there is a Gundam frame that has the like a Cobra on it, but I think we're talking about two different things.
We might be talking about different Cobra. Like I like just look up let's see.
I'm
Cobra
looking
Gundam
I'm looking
GF13.
Yeah, that's not in the show.
Okay.
What series is this from? Mobile
Uh
Fighter G. Oh, is this the one where they have like the World Martial Arts tournament, but for Gundam pilots? I think that's what the series is from.
it might be. That's the one I think I remember watching the most.
That's another popular one.
Oh yeah, I remember this guy.
Yeah,
Domun Kashu. And his whole thing was shining finger
yeah,
and he would just blow people up. Just pew
yeah. This
or
one I
whatever it
believe
did.
is like a martial art. They have a tournament every like 4 years from all these mobile suit pilots from all over the world to determine who's gonna lead the world for like the next 4 years.
Mm,
That's the whole purpose of that series.
okay. Now I have a next question. So this came out in 94. I guess
Hmm.
the height of its popularity was the late 90s.
Yeah.
So how many women were getting shining fingered in the back of their like
Nice.
car? And then they were like, "You know what? I think I should just go home. Just take me home."
Gundam has always had this like hardcore fan base. Even now, there's like a new series going on called The Witch from
Ah,
Mercury, and I think I'm gonna start watching that too.
is it? So here's the thing. So none of the Gundam, like some of the Gundam stuff, matches up with other Gundam stuff, but
Yeah, so like there's several different like timelines. Like you have the UC, like the Universal Century
mhm.
timeline. You have the AC for like um whatever it stands for. You have BC, which is our timeline, or no, AC or AD, the AD timeline. There's so many fucking timelines.
Wait, so but here's the thing. So, you said there's split and there's alternative.
Yeah,
They
so
so and so
like
won the war, so and so didn't.
the uh the timeline that people probably associate, or I think there's the most stories going on in is what is it? Is the UC timeline, which has like the most Gundam um
The Universal Century.
shows, movies. Yeah, it's Universal Century. And then you have the Future Century, and then you have the after AC, which is the After Colony. Then you have the CE, which is the Cosmic Era, which turns into the AG, which is the Advanced Generation.
So far, all of this is making sense.
And then you have the Omino Domini, the AD, which is our timeline. And then you have another AD timeline that
So
turns
that's
in,
where it really starts to split.
and then you have a no. There's every single one of these is a different timeline.
Okay, so they're just different timelines, but they don't weave in and out of each other.
No, some have
Okay.
like stories that like take. There's multiple series that take place in a timeline. Some timelines only have like one series. Like AD, which is the newest one, Ad Stella, which is the Witch from Mercury's timeline, takes place in this one. But then it gets even more fucked up. The UC, the FC, the AC, and the AW timeline all merge into the CC timeline, which is the correct century timeline.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's kind of fucked.
So
That's why
that's where things start going. Like that's when it gets like, what the fuck.
well, you don't have to watch. You could pick a Gundam show at random for the most part. As long as it's like outside the UC timeline, you're probably okay.
Okay, but the UC timeline is the most
It's the
agreed
most
upon. Like this is the main timeline.
there's most stories have taken place in the UC timeline.
Okay, so everything else is just like a little. I don't know why I just don't Google like UC timeline. Here we go.
So like Gundam Wing, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, which is the one I'm watching right now, takes place in After Colony, which is AC 195, and then Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, which is the series right after it, and I think contains like the same characters. I could be wrong. Uh,
Said
is
what
a year
Gundam Waltz?
Endless Waltz. It's Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, and then Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Those are the two most popular ones in like the 90s and early 2000s in America that really got popular over here.
Okay, AC after Colony. Yeah, I see it. That's in the AC
Hmm.
timeline.
Which merges into the CC timeline.
Yeah, it looks like the AC, the FC, and the UC merge. And then there's like the AS, PD, Anno Domini. There's
Hmm.
another Anno Domini.
Yep.
So I guess it's whatever the fuck that. And then a Cosmic Era. And then an Advanced Generation, which all of those are off to the side. So everything else
There's
here.
no main story to Gundam. There's just tropes that each Gundam series follows.
Okay. But it looks like Universal Century kind of has at least something to
It
go
has,
off of.
yeah, there's a story there.
There's not an
Don't
overarching story, but there's
don't
at least
ask
like,
me what it is.
75 years ago, this fucking war was fought. And they'll
Yeah,
reference like the war. But that'll be like, that's it. and then they won't really it's not necessarily connected, it's just like, "Oh, and that's when we started putting super thrusters instead of regular thrusters," or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, something so small and insignificant that I'd be like, "Okay, cool." Somebody comment, "What's your favorite timeline?"
What's your
Personally,
favorite?
mine's
Well,
BC.
I wouldn't say what's your favorite time. What's your favorite Gundam series or OVA?
Oh, yeah, let's go with that.
I think
And then what's
mine's
your favorite Gundam?
my favorite uh Gundam. So a Gundam is specifically like a Gundam frame. There's also like mobile suits, which is like everything else that isn't a Gundam. My favorite Gundam would probably have to be probably the Death Scythe, but
Just
that's
because how
also like
cool it looks?
recency bias, and that's I saw that when I was a kid. I never watched Gundam when I was a kid. I knew of it, and just I seen this thing, and I was like, oh, that's cool looking. But for a long time, probably the Barbados.
Barbados?
Yeah, because it's also used as not only like as like a suit to like destroy. It's also used as a like a mirror in Iron Blood Orphans to reflect the group itself because it goes so much under so much change. It becomes more like monster looking over time to
To really
reflect
show how the
like
souls and their psyches are breaking.
how far away from their original purpose has become. Um, as for my favorite, like probably mobile suit, it also comes from Iron Blooded Orphans
Okay,
because
you
of
said
like
mobile suit?
yeah, mobile suit is different than a Gundam.
Okay, what's the real difference?
So a Gundam is made from Gundanium and can only be
That's why they're called that?
yeah.
Ah.
And mobile suits are made most for the most part like on Earth or not made from Gundanium.
So mobile suits are made out of Gundanium, which I guess
No,
is
Gundams are made from Gundanium. Mobile suits are made from anything else. But my favorite mobile suit would probably be the I looked it up like 100 times yesterday. Now I can't remember what it's called.
I'm looking the Turn A Gundam is the most powerful suit ever designed. Let's see. Hmm.
Once I see
So
it, I'm gonna like lose my mind.
what? When you find out what you're looking for?
Yeah, because I wanted to get it.
The Turn A Gundam?
No, one of the mobile suits from
Blood
uh
Orphans.
Iron Blooded Orphans. The Landman Roadie.
Landman Roadie.
Yeah, Landman is one word and Roadie is the other word.
Okay, he looks so cute. Little circle head.
Yeah, so like if you notice, if you look at like every um Gundam story has like their version of a Zaku, which is the mass-produced version of like a mobile suit, like the mass-produced military version of a mobile suit. And
The Dimer
every
Dozens.
yeah, every series has like okay, you have like Rhodey X21, which has like a cannon or the whatever. This one
Yeah.
has like a beam
X1 has a
sword.
machine gun.
Yeah, it's
X2
just
has
the
this. X3
mass-produced
has.
version, and then every series, even if it's not in the UC timeline, has their version of a Zaku. It might not be called the Zaku. Um, so in Iron Blood Orphans, it's called a Graze. I want to say, but the Landman Rhodey is like another version of the Zaku. It looks more like a Zaku. What makes a Zaku is they always have like that singular eye, just that mono eye.
So all of this is just classifications depending on.
Yeah,
Okay. So
but
mobile suit is made out of Gundanium. Azaku would be is mainly just a
this
Not a
is my
Gundam.
interpretation of it. So a Zaku is a type of mobile suit. All right, it's a classification of a mobile suit. All right, and mobile suits are just like mass-produced version. There's multiple different types of mobile suits. Okay, the Zaku is a type of mobile suit, but the
Okay.
Zaku is also like it has that singular eye, and every series has like their version of the Zaku. And then Gundams are like the main are those suits that are made in outer space with Gundanium. In this version, the Gundam and Iron Blood Orphans, the Gundams are like these ancient pieces of technology that fought in something called a Calamity War. I'm gonna throw another term at you.
Which is fair.
It's called mobile armor.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck you doing to me?
A mobile armor is like this AI. They were AI mining machines, and then they kind of just went crazy, and then they created mobile suits. I'm sorry, they created Gundams to fight the mobile armors because the pilot and they had to get these pilots uh implanted with what's called the Alea Vignata, which like plugs their body directly into the Gundam.
A Pacific Rim situation.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
And they have more control over the suit.
Right, like everything, their nerve impulses shoot out to the suit
Yeah.
for it to
And
go.
it comes at a heavy cost. Like uh the main
Life
character
force.
no, he like loses function over his body. Like at one point he goes blind in an eye, and then it loses goes into like he can't move like his right arm or yeah, I think his right arm into he can't move like the whole right side of his body unless he's plugged into the mobile suit and to the Gundam.
Hmm.
And
Weirdly enough, I wonder if it's like just
four he's like 14, 15 years old.
yeah.
It's just sad.
This does sound sad.
Yeah, Gundam is not a happy show. They really if you look at it as like, oh, the cool robots fighting, then you're kind of looking at like Gundam wrong.
It's actually a,
It's
a
like
hard
this.
look at war and the sadness that comes along with it.
Yeah, it really is.
Neat.
There's also like watch orders of like what you should watch, the order you should watch Gundam in, and it's just fucking awful to look at. It's like a paragraph on the side. Oh my god, I don't want to look at it anymore. I
Yeah,
don't want to
I'm
talk
looking
about
to see. I'm
Gundams
looking
anymore.
Gundam and like how to really like. Oh, for everybody at home, like what the fuck is a Gundam? Just think of a fighting robot, but that gets
Think
controlled by somebody.
think
And
think of Optimus Prime, but somebody's controlling
yes,
them.
yes, that's
Or if
perfect.
you've seen Power Rangers, when they go into the Zord,
Yeah.
it's just one person controlling a robot that size, and they don't. I mean, here we go. Some series Gundams can't combine into each other, so it kind of is like a Zord.
You're just making it more complicated. Look, sometimes when a mommy and daddy Gundam love each other very much, they make a Zord, but it doesn't matter because they're they're Gundams. Now there's different names for Gundams, but they're all. I looked into it. They're like, yeah, what makes a Gundam a Gundam? They just kind of be like, hey, if somebody says it, sure, it's a
Yeah,
Gundam.
if somebody says it's a Gundam, it's a Gundam
Yeah,
in the
but I'm sure
show.
originally it was like, okay, this is what makes a Gundam, and then it just fell apart. And I'm sure there's like classifications, but more just like, okay, is it human or not? And then is it like human shaped or is it animal shaped type shit?
Yeah. But yeah, like all
Mhm.
day yesterday, I've been looking for that Landman Rhodey Gundam, and I can't find it. I have
Really?
found it. I found it complete, and I found it in a combo box. But the problem is, it's not sold anymore. So the set that the two-piece set that it comes in is $130, and I'm like, no, thank you.
No, I got one that's 144th for like $40.
With the Landman Rhodey,
Well, okay, send me a picture of what he looks like because I think he's orange, isn't he?
he's orange and white, and then there's the Man Rhodey, which is green.
Oh, okay, that's probably what I'm looking at then. Yeah, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
conversion kit for the Landman Rhodey, but I want the orange and white one because orange
Just
is one. This is my favorite version of the from this series, and also I don't want to
Just paint
fucking
it.
paint it. I don't want to. There's so much
No.
goes into so much more time.
What do you got to do?
I have other shit I have to do. I don't want to
Like
devote like
what?
my whole time to building Gundam.
Hmm. I guess. Yeah, I'm looking.
Right?
All I get near me are a bunch of
You probably like
fishing
getting
poles.
really.
Yeah, for Landman Roadie. Because I saw it online and I'm like, okay, what's available nearby? Like maybe I could just like steal it, and then it just
I
keeps
could
bringing
also
me pictures
there's
of
a store by me not too far away that sells. It's a video game store, but they have a wall of Gundams, and I could go probably look for it there. It might be cheaper.
Dude,
Or
I don't think I've seen anything Gundam in years.
there, what is it? There's a Hobby Lobby near me too, and they have them.
All of this is wild to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know. I want to collect them, and I kind of want to like have like I think I'm gonna hang them from my ceiling as like a big battle going on, and so I could look up at the sky in my ceiling, and I just see a bunch of Gundams fighting each other.
Dude, you could also do it like you can just hook up like little watch batteries to
Oh,
like blinky lights, and you
there's
can just have them all like beep 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 beep.
I'm gonna show you this video. It's really
Oh
cool.
God, please do.
There's this guy who makes dioramas. There's a bunch of people that makes dioramas on YouTube,
More like diarrheas.
but I find his uh work is probably the best I've seen. Uh, go just copy, share, copy. There you go. This is the last thing I want to talk about Gundam. Then move on to another subject. Could be talking about it for like 30 minutes.
We really have. You have just been going off, and the problem is I'm interested. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about really, but this
Like
is
even
all I'm
I
learning.
send it to you in the Discord chat, the general thing on the side over here, and even just
Yeah.
from the thumbnail of the video, that looks fucking amazing.
Right now I'm watching a Hardy Stardio combo, not sponsored. Okay. I'm just gonna skip to the point where he is ready to like. Oh, okay. I see what you. I thought they were like moving and shit. Like, don't get me wrong, this is still cool, but I thought
No,
he was like
no,
fucking had moving parts and shit. Like they were like hitting each other, like bang,
it's just a
bang.
diorama.
See, this is like what I was talking about. Just all you really need is just a little bit of cloth for smoke, and then depending on what
That was
thing you want, like
he just
that's
used
nothing.
cotton from like a cotton ball.
Literally, like that's nothing.
I don't know if I'm gonna go that far. I think I just want to put him like on the ceiling, just have a battle. Because what he did is he like he there's a battery pack in the bottom part of the diorama. There's wires running up those metal rods that he'd run
Mhm.
like a string light, small little LED things into
Yeah,
there. I put cotton around them, but I have no way of powering it from my ceiling. So I
that's why
think
you
I'm
just use a little watch battery.
so I think I'm just gonna go with my own way, or just gonna display them somewhere in my room.
My question is, what are you gonna do with your 1989 Pamela Anderson poster that you have on your ceiling from Baywatch?
I have 3 posters in my room.
Okay,
Or
are you
I
gonna
wouldn't
like
even
send
say
them over here to me?
posters. I don't even want to say one is the Ukrainian flag. The other is
It's gonna be real hard to masturbate to that. I'm not gonna lie.
the other one's like this cloth. I don't know what the material like the
I don't think it
uh
matters what it's made out of to be a poster.
whatever the paint material is, but it's a giant elephant and a baby elephant that I bought in Thailand.
Okay, I was gonna ask,
And
why do you
then
have that?
because it was a beautiful piece of art. Um
Okay.
I'll send you a picture of it. And then the American flag.
Now, which America is it?
That's the normal American flag.
Okay. Let's see. Um,
I'm surprised you haven't seen it when I've turned on my camera.
I've probably seen it, but I don't
You
know.
probably have, and you're just not paying attention.
Well, just share your screen. Can't you like share?
I have a picture, and I'm sending it to you.
Can't like just turn on your camera?
No, that's too complicated right now. I have my phone out.
This
I've already taken a picture and I was already sending it to you.
oh
So,
god, such a problem.
anyways, what do you want to talk about? I've talked about enough stuff.
Yeah. Uh so I went to the doctor today. I'm fine. It's just general checkup. When was the last time you went to like a doctor?
Um,
Like for anything, let's say.
that's a good question.
Because I think the last time I went to a doctor was probably like 3 years ago when I had a cough and I didn't want to go. Shelby made me.
I
And then
think
they were just like, oh, it's a cough. Get over it.
yeah, I think the last time I went, it was we went to a clinic because I had like an abscess in my mouth.
Jesus Christ.
But like it was just I don't know what it was. Like I like press on it and it didn't feel too great, but it also didn't hurt. And then they gave me some antibiotics and said just
Take two of these. Call me in the morning.
yeah, basically. And then like on my way home, I was kind of like pressing my tongue against it a little bit, and then it like popped like a pimple, and then it never.
Uh,
It didn't taste too great, but then it went away.
uh,
I
did
still
you
like
swallow some of it?
maybe I spit most of it out.
Uh, you can't really get all of it out. The mouth is just way too moist to like once you get something in there, you really have to work at it.
Yeah, like it was in the middle of driving, so I just kind of spit out the window.
Oh, and it's all over the side of your car.
No, like I spit it out. I made sure. Anyways, that's the elephant.
Okay, yeah, I saw it. It's a pretty good poster. Well, no, I just went and really nothing. I was just like, yeah, I'm fat and I need to start working out and stuff. And they're like, okay, yeah, I mean, as long as you know. And I'm like, yeah. And then I went to go get a blood test, or not blood test, but like I went to go get blood drawn. You know that
Hmm.
they don't do it at the fucking doctor's office. Like,
Really?
yeah, well, I guess because maybe it was a small one or something, but I'm like, it was big enough that you could have had all that, and you could have had like the lab in the back. But instead, they like have a third party lab, and I had to go to this one, and the one I had to go to is in like the white trashiest part of town.
Um.
And dude, I saw so many people with a lot of fucking kids, and I'm guaranteeing you that it was a blood test to see if he was the daddy.
Oh
And I
boy.
was like, why? He's got as many teeth as you do, and he's 6 years old. So, I'm pretty sure he's yours. But yeah, so they took my blood. She was super nice. And she did like the whole thing. Like, I don't know if you know like how to draw blood. This is a quick and dirty. You wrap something around your arm, like a tourniquet,
Yeah.
just make sure it's real tight. And
So you
then
can see the
eventually,
vein.
yeah, the veins will start pumping up and you'll be able to see them because, pressures and shit. Uh, and then she's like, okay, well, I see your vein, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And then I don't think she did. I just think she stabbed deep enough. And then, so the vials, you know how they suck, do you know how they get the blood in there?
What?
Yeah. So the little vials, like they get to
Mm-hmm.
like pull the blood. The
Yeah.
way they do it is they're packaged like either they're packaged in a vacuum or like a negative thing. So that way when they get pushed in,
Yeah, it has negative
it,
pressure in it.
yeah,
It
it
sucks
literally
it back out.
sucks the blood out.
Yeah.
And I saw my blood like squirt, dude. And for a second, I was like, oh, like as soon as I saw the first, like, it was a solid streak of blood. Like, those little water pistols that are literally like the size of a grown man's palm?
Okay.
Like, that's that. And you know how when you squeeze them, it goes
Yeah.
like that stream? That's what
Mm-hmm.
my blood was for like a solid 5 second. And for a second, man, I was legitimately sitting there like, wow, I feel kind of sick. Like,
Yeah, that's where they tell you not to look.
oh no, I look right at it every time. So do you not look when you get your shit taken?
No, because looking is the
You
worst part.
you don't see the needle go in or
I don't look.
at all?
Nope.
Or are you like scared of needles? Or you're just like, I'd just rather
I
not
mean, I'm
know.
not scared of them, but I just don't want to look at it.
Oh man, so I'm looking at my blood squirting out,
If you're
and dude,
looking at
yeah,
if you're looking at it, you're gonna feel more pain. In my that's my thought process.
that's fair. And I
Is if
know
I'm
she
not
fucked
looking
me
at it,
up.
if I'm not looking at it, I can imagine it's not that bad.
That's fair. But I know
If
she fucked me up because like I have a circular bruise around where she got me. She didn't
oh
get the
wow,
vein. She fucking like She just
Got the
went, "Fuck
meat.
it." Boom. Yeah, and just
Don't you guys have things that like you could point at somebody's arm and find the vein?
Oh, dude, those are the fucking tits. Like you have no idea how great those things are.
Like, don't you have those?
They didn't have it at this one.
Oh.
Trust me, man. If they're trying to figure out who's the daddy for Bubba Bubba Junior Junior, BJ,
Mhm.
or whatever, they're obviously insurance ain't paying a whole lot. It's all out of pocket, and I think they were trying to pay with cigarettes. So like she's doing it right. So she's sucking this blood out. And I'm like, I don't think you
Mhm.
need that much blood. She filled up 4 vials, dude.
Jesus
And
Christ.
I'm looking like that's like I don't do this for a living, like to like take blood like that. But I'm
Mhm.
like, that's a lot of fucking blood. Like that might have been, I don't know, maybe there's probably honestly, if I had to guess, there's probably 2 ounces in every vial. So that bitch took 8 ounces away. That's a cup of blood. For those of you
Yeah,
who don't know, right now,
that's
pause the podcast, go to your kitchen, go get your little
it's
glass. What
eight
is it?
ounces.
It's 8 ounces for our folks over that use the non-American system. That's roughly 240 milliliters. But go to your kitchen thing right now, pull out the measuring cup. Actually, don't pause it yet until I say this. And then look to how much a cup is, fill that up with water, and then pour it into the cup that you're drinking from right now. And then that was my blood. Okay, now pause it and go do that. Okay, welcome back. Yeah. The good news is I don't have anything to drink, so I'm not getting like fucking hammered off of like 3 sips of beer.
Mhm.
But yeah, the lady was real nice at least. Oh, and I had to do they made me pee in a cup, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go pee in a cup because they wanted to do like a specimen test. Not like a drug test, like, okay, we're gonna make sure your kidneys are good and make sure you don't have like a UTI. Like,
Mhm.
I don't have a bladder infection. So I'm like, okay, weird, but I mean if the doctor ordered it, I guess. So I'm like, okay, cool. Where's the top? And she's like, oh, it's fine. You can just set it right there. And I'm like,
What?
like, yeah, exactly. So she pointed like her key, like if you're sitting at a desk right now listening to this at work, so you have your keyboard, you have your mouse, and then literally where your mouse is, my P was about that far away from the keyboard on her left side, on the left side of the keyboard. Because most people, I think everybody pretty much has the mouse on the right hand. I don't know anybody
Yeah.
that goes left, even left-handers. I don't think. But yeah, that's pretty much how close it was. And I'm like, and she was just like, yeah, right there. Don't worry about it. And then the entire time, my pee's just like I can smell it because like I just pissed it, and like now I'm hyper aware of it.
Mhm.
So I'm like I can smell it the entire time because I know it's there. I don't think like I don't really can. I can't. And the whole she just has a straight face on. Like yeah, she didn't do anything with it.
Oh.
I was there for like 15 minutes answering questions. She didn't cap it. She didn't like put a little pH strip to be like adequate. Like nothing. I
Nothing.
don't think that my doctor ordered that.
Just wanted to save it for later.
Dude, that's fine. It's more or less sterile. Uh, that was fun. How'd you spend your Easter, by the way? Yeah, nothing. It's just
How'd
past
I
it. Do you,
spend my Easter?
do you even celebrate Easter?
No, I watched Gundam.
Fucking heathen.
Why would
That's
I
what you do.
celebrate? Why would I celebrate Easter if I'm not a Christian?
What are you? Are you an atheist or something?
Just,
Agnostic?
just don't care.
The spaghetti man?
No, I just don't believe in any of it.
It's all bullshit. Everybody's lied to you, including your parents. It's not
It's
real.
you just when you die, you go into the ground, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the sweet relief is what it is. The sweet release of consciousness. Because you know what this place is? I truly think I have a theory that Earth is actually like, in the Christian way, is purgatory. Because everything always kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Eh,
I mean,
So
if you look at it like that, then
yeah,
I
like
guess it
like if
sucks
you're
for you.
poor, yeah, or not poor, but if you just if you're dumb or something, like there's always a hardship. There's always something going on. The human condition is a curse. Like my life isn't hard. It's just a series of inconveniences and a comedy of errors. For Easter, we went and we got really bad Chinese food at PF Chang's. I'll say it. You guys sucked.
Why would you go to PF Chang's?
I know, right? Who the fuck would have gone there? But my in-laws were like, "Yeah, let's go there." I'm like, I guess, dude. Well,
So instead of playing, D&D on Sunday, I wanted to. You had shitty Chinese food.
yes. That's also the day we watched the Mario movie. Easter, which it really wasn't all that busy.
From what I heard, it was busier in the mornings.
I guess that makes sense. Uh,
And I was
but
looking at
usually, go ahead.
the what is it? Because I was gonna go thought about go watching it on Easter, but I didn't. I was looking at seating for it, and yeah, it was pretty packed in the morning.
Yeah, and like usually, I think last year what we did is I think I barbecued. And I don't know if you know about the cracking eggs thing.
What?
Yeah, you've never seen people crack eggs on each other's heads, like the confetti filled ones.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted to know what it is in Spanish, it is huevos de confete or
I knew
confetti.
people that used to do uh, like
Oh,
after you get
cascarón. Or
like you
cascarón.
something like if you're in a pool, like if you have a party on Easter and you like a family get together and you have a pool. I know that they take eggs full of flour and they crack it on each other's head and
Oh,
eat.
dude, that's the fucking worst. But yes,
It's kind of similar, but yeah, I get
yeah.
it. Fuck, you just make me want to go get Easter candy. I got a Easter bunny after like it was on sale.
Was it hollow or full
It was
chocolate?
a solid piece of chocolate, but it was like it
Oh,
wasn't like the good one. I mean, it was decent. I mean, for a
for
dollar, you
Easter
really
candy. Yeah.
can't complain.
Did you ever get like the Easter Jesus chocolate?
Nope.
Oh my god, my grandma used to give them to us as like on Easter. And it was like kind of fucked up because she'd be like, okay, here is your Jesus. And we're like all 7 or 8. And the only thing we know is that he T posed on the Romans for dominance.
Yeah.
So we're all looking like, can we eat him? Can we not? And then we just hang on to him in our baskets. And like 3 or 4 months later, we're like, oh yeah, he's there just
Why
watching.
didn't you, if you didn't want to eat in front of her, why didn't you just eat it when you went home?
Because I didn't know that it would be good or not to eat Jesus. I also thought that the
If
like
they made them to eat, if it's made of chocolate,
characters
it's
in
made
video games.
to eat.
Well, I guess that's a fair point. But like, I also thought that video game characters would get mad that I didn't play their game. So just some solid little kid logic there. I thought Jesus would get mad that I ate him. And now I'm
What do
probably
you
thinking
mean?
that maybe if I would have eaten
Jesus
him,
wants you to eat them. That's the whole point of fucking communion.
I know, but I'm 8. You think I'm gonna put that fucking shit together? I'm fucking sitting there going, "Thanks, grandma, I guess." So, yeah. But I usually got a pretty dope ass,
That
Christmas
made me
basket,
so
so
mad.
I know it did. Jesus, you fucking blew up. I'm 8. What were you doing at 8?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, see?
I just kind of block out everything that hasn't happened. That has happened.
It couldn't have happened because I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Which is honestly how I argue with Shelby constantly. I'm not trying to gaslight her, but literally she'll tell me I did something and be like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
Oh
And then
yeah, I
she'll get
know.
mad. "Oh, yeah, you've been there." And I'd be like, "I don't know. What do you want from me?" And then I kinda think, I'm like, "Okay, I said this. She says I said this. She says I did that." And I'm like, I guess that sounds like me. I can, like, put, like, 90 I put, like, 90% sure I did that, and then now she's gaslighting me because I guarantee you she fucking lies because she knows she wins. She'll just be like, "Well, you said you were gonna take me out." And I'd be like, "Did I?" And then she just uses, like, my vernacular, and she's like, "Yeah, blah, 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 blah." I'm like, "Fuck, that does sound like me." Yeah, don't have any sympathy for Shelby. She's fucking she's manipulative. Oh, you don't
Oh,
know
I
it.
have sympathy for her because she has to deal with
She
you.
You shouldn't. She's a fucking mastermind.
When
She doesn't know it, but she fucks with my psyche on the daily, and that's why I'm crazy. That's why I have no idea what's going on 3/4 of the time.
anything else you want to talk about, or are you good to wrap up?
Uh, I told my dad that Jesus was like a fan of Romeo and Juliet, and that's
What?
why he did the whole like going into a thing for 3 days, hoping that his Romeo would come for him.
You know that it's only supposed to be for like an hour, or like for a few hours, and then yeah,
What, the podcast or him going into the hole?
the Romeo or I can't remember who kills themselves.
I think it
Who
was Juliet.
died?
Juliet
Who
was
had to
supposed to
drink the
drink.
sleeping? Yeah,
Yeah, and then Romeo comes by, and then well, how does it go? Does he think that she's actually dead and kills himself, or she's actually dead
yeah,
so he kills himself?
yeah. I think he thinks she's dead.
Oh yeah, because nobody told him the plan, right? Somebody was supposed to tell him.
Yeah, and then he finds her dead, and so he stabs himself. And then Juliet wakes up, sees Romeo dead or poison. I think he drinks poison. It's different in every fucking iteration of
How can it be different?
how he commits
Shakespeare only wrote it
seppuku.
one time.
Oh, people change it because drinking poison is not that thematic. But if you see somebody on stage stab themselves, it's pretty dramatic.
That's fair. Original Romeo and Juliet death. Romeo takes his poison and dies, while Juliet awakens from her drugged coma. She
Yeah,
learns that what has happened from Friar Lawrence, but she refuses to leave the tomb and stabs herself. Oh, so he drinks poison,
that's what
she
it is.
stabs herself.
I was right in a way there.
I mean, you had it backwards. It's just fair.
I'll be right back.
You're fine. Man, I've been playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic lately with my friends from high school, and goddamn, we're just three fucking morons rocking stoning away. And it's actually a lot of fun, but it gets to the point where you want to do something harder, you want to do something cooler, but you're kind of limited on what you can actually do. You know, you can jump on things and go through and blah blah blah, but I feel like the game's a little too
Okay.
loose when it comes to the hitboxes, so it's a lot harder.
What the
I feel
fuck are
like
you
to
talking about?
really okay. Well, if you're gonna have to watch the podcast, so I think it's just a lot harder.
What do you mean I have to watch it? I have to edit it.
Oh, there you go. Watch it twice. We can let it play for a minute, refresh, and listen to the next minute, refresh. But no, I'm talking about Deep Rock Galactic and like how
Oh god.
it's just like it's fun, but there's I don't know, it's just it gets old.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do in a game like that.
Yeah, so it's more about just hanging out with friends than anything
Mm.
and throwing shit at each other. Yeah, no, other than that, my like I said, I was just telling my parents about my theories on Jesus, and I was trying to explain T posing to my
Mm.
parents,
How'd that go?
and not very well. He thought I said D posing, like D is in dick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking like, yeah, he just deposed on them for dominance. And yeah, and he was just up there, hands up. And then I guess my dad was imagining Jesus with his dick out, or at least
I mean, he
fully
probably
erect.
was.
He probably was. So I'm like, yeah, they should have used screws instead of nails to keep him down. And he's like, what? They're gonna screw his dick? But he's like, what? What are you saying to me right now? And I'm like, yeah, T posing for dominance, like like a T. And he's like, oh. And my mom's listening, just like, what the fuck? Why did?
Praying
Yeah,
for your salvation.
why did I let you fall out of me? Like, oh my god, I should have kept you in, save the world from you.
Alrighty. I think that's enough shenanigans for one day.
Oh, dude, you don't like spitting silly? Just out here spitting these funky bars.
I do, but I gotta go make dinner.
It's 3:21. What are you, 58 years old?
It's 4:20
Actually, that's not
here,
really that young. Oh, dude just
and
plays.
and making spaghetti and meatballs. So I gotta make meatballs. That's gonna take a little bit.
You don't just get ground beef, breadcrumbs, seasoning?
Yeah, I do, but it takes a while to make that, and then you gotta pan fry them, and then you gotta make the spaghetti, and then you
Oh,
gotta let
interesting. I
that.
usually bake mine.
Well, yeah, it's gonna get baked, but you gotta pan fry the meatballs first to give them color,
Huh.
and
No
then you make the
shit.
spaghetti and sauce, and then you mix it together, and then you bake it.
Yeah, you making the spaghetti out of fucking scratch or what?
No, I could, but I don't want to.
How hard is it to make pasta from scratch?
Not very hard.
Right, it's just like egg, water, and flour, and sometimes not even water.
It's egg and flour for the most
Right.
part.
How do you get hard pasta? Is hard
You
pasta like a
dry
real
it.
thing? Oh,
You
so you
dry
just
it.
leave it out for a while,
Yeah.
and that's what
Or
spaghetti is, just
you
hardened egg.
like dehydrate it.
Interesting.
It's not that difficult.
Oh, so do you remember pinwheel pasta?
Pinwheel pasta.
The pasta, the wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, they still make it.
No, dude, where?
You just gotta go to the store.
We don't have it around here.
Oh, you know what I miss? And it's
What
really weird. I know we said we're gonna end this, but this will be the last thing.
is it though?
Um, when I was a kid, you know, like those to go, like ready, like just pour hot water in for mac and cheese.
No,
You, yes,
like
you
the
do.
cups.
Yeah, like the little cups.
No, you have to put them in the microwave.
But you know what I'm saying, right? They're like the quick, ready to go, pour water in, microwave it, whatever you do for
Yeah,
mac
yeah,
and
yeah.
cheese.
Then yeah, microwave for like a minute and a half or some bullshit, and then let
Yeah,
rest. Yeah.
Ragu had something similar a long time ago, and it was fantastic. I ate it so much as a kid. It was so good. It was like my favorite. Like so in up north, you didn't go to school for a whole day, like until you're in the
What?
first grade. Yeah, you only went to school for like a half a day.
We started going at kinder.
Yeah, you only went for half a day when you lived in like I think New York, New Jersey, and there's other places up north that do it too. Anyways, I come home, but this was in like preschool. It's a very early memory. I come home, I'd either have like a salami sandwich, something else, or like these ragu cups, and I'd watch like Scooby Doo or Rescue Rangers or whatever.
Rescue Rangers, something over there. Rescue. Fuck.
What the fuck did you send to me? Fucking. It just says data image slash JPEG. Anyways, Ragu had those similar things, and they were so good, and they don't make
Yeah,
them
I'm
anymore.
trying to send you a fucking picture of it. I think.
I just says it wants me to download it, and I'm not downloading
No,
what you
don't
send me.
download it. It's just a Ragu Express pasta snacks,
Ragu
and it had the hunger
pasta
meter on the side.
express. I don't remember. I remember them being like blue. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there it is.
You still
Sweet
make them?
tomato and garlic. I have no idea.
Because if they do, I'd be buying them by like the pallet.
No, I don't think so. Right now, they just have single serve Ragu for one. And there's somebody on eBay selling two, like it's a fucking mix and match situation.
Mm-hmm.
Pick two Ragu sauce jars
Yeah, I
uh
got
for $11.
the sweet tomato and garlic one.
Nice, dude.
These things were so fucking good.
They probably brought them like recalled them because they had iron, like metal shavings in them or some shit. Because that's
I
definitely the
see a
thing to have
pizza
metal
one. I
shavings.
never had the pizza one, but yeah, the Ragu Express sweet tomato and garlic was fucking so good.
I found, I guess, a postcard for Ragu Express. That's the only thing they sell of it
Postcard?
now. Yeah, like a little like, hey, buy this. You know how back in the day, like at the store,
A
just
coupon?
like in Vegas, they have like the guys getting for the prostitutes. Like it's like,
Oh,
hey, this is this. What the fuck? They're selling this
yeah, they
jar
discontinued
of
it.
pasta sauce for $999.
Why?
I don't know. Shipping can be accommodated within the lower 48 US states. What are the high? What are the other? What are the higher two?
Alaska and
I
Hawaii.
guess. How high is Hawaii?
Well, it's because they're not. You have to. So the contiguous 48, it's easier to ship across. What?
The way you had to like restart your sentence because you're like, how do I explain this?
Yeah. So the contiguous 48, right? It's so much easier to ship
The
inside.
continuous 48. See, that makes sense.
Contiguous
What the fuck is
means
contiguous mean?
together. Anyways,
I don't think
it's
that's
easier
right.
to
Yeah,
ship
sharing a common border. You're right.
um because you don't have to like send a plane or send it by boat even further. So it's more expensive to get the ingredients over there. That's why the if you go like to like a grocery store in like Hawaii or Alaska, the shit's so expensive if it isn't made in Alaska because
You know, yeah,
they
I
have
would believe
to
if you said that.
fly it to Washington, and then from Washington they have to fly it to Juneau, and then from Juneau it has to go from anywhere else into Alaska. And then Hawaii, you either have to send a boat from Los Angeles to Hawaii or boat from Honolulu to a plane from
Oahu.
Honolulu, plane from California to Hawaii, or from Mexico to Hawaii.
So it can definitely be done
It can be done, but it's more expensive, and that's why like when you see promotions, it says like not available in like Alaska or Hawaii. That's why.
because they don't fuck you guys. It'd be way too expensive.
Well, they can't guarantee like quality or anything, mostly for food.
Jeez.
Anyways, I think that's enough.
Not after you click on that.
I have to go make dinner.
Well, before you go and make your pasta at 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Why is somebody selling a Taco Bell sauce collection? Every package of
because
Lay's
it's
for damn
yes.
near $25,000.
You know what? How many people want this? 100 people are watching this.
Yeah,
Who?
because they're
Who are these people?
watching it for who fucking dumbasses.
Oh, were you about to
Buy
use a hard R there?
what? No.
Okay, here's why. Here's why. Okay, you don't get that joke.
Yeah, I
Apparently, one
do.
of well, no. Trust me, you don't get it in this context. One of my friends' dads thought the hard R meant mentally, you know, yeah.
Yeah,
He
no, I
didn't
know what you
know
meant.
that's
I knew that's where you're going. There was a what is it? Linus said it the other like a month ago. He's like, "Oh yeah, I used to use the hard R all the time." You know who Linus is, right? From Linus
nope.
Tech Tips. He's like
Oh,
this
that
big,
guy?
yeah. So he had a podcast, and on one of
Oh.
his things like a month ago, he says, "Oh yeah, I used to use the hard R all the time," and all his employees are looking at him like, "We're about to lose our jobs. We're going down. I'm watching a sinking ship," and and then he says, one of them bravely asks, "What do you mean?" He's like, mentally handicapped, and they're like, "Oh, thank God,"
Who
because
think no, why would anybody fucking think that?
I know what you meant, and I know it could be used in both ways. So
Never. I can't believe that.
there's also somebody selling a Taco Bell mild sauce packet that says "Yes to Forever" for $185,000, and I'm gonna leave our podcast there. Thank you for watching. We'll see you
No,
next
don't leave
time.
me. I'm